How's it going, folks? Eric Zapp back here today, and today we're going to be going over a POV drive on my 2023 Ford F150 XLT 302A package. Now, if you're on the market for a 2024, it's going to look almost the same as this with a few cosmetic details. Right here, we have the LEDs, basically. These LEDs here, you're going to have to get the Lariat, the Platinum, or the King Ranch to get these in the 2024. But here in 2023, you can get them with the 302A package, just out the 300 to the 301A. It's really long here. We got the long box, we got the sport package, and basically it's equipped for any kind of work you got. This long box here is incredible because you can actually fit a A-frame ladder here straight versus diagonally, as if you had the 5.5 foot box. So that said, guys, let's hop inside the truck and let's take it for a rip. All right, folks, here we are on our onboard drive. So before we get started here, let's go through our drive modes quick. So if you look up here in the gauge cluster, if we turn our drive mode selector over here to the right, it's going to give us a few options. We got tow haul, we got eco mode, we've got sport mode, which is pretty crazy. And we go back the other way, you got slippery mode, 4x4 shifting gauge to endure your deep snow or sand mode, and we can go one more and do our mud or ruts, our off-roading mode. So for the sake of this video right now, we're just going to start it in normal, and we're going to take this thing on the highway. So right now we're actually in normal mode. So in normal mode, you got a perfect blend, as I was saying earlier, of eco and sport mode. If you want to go into actually sport mode directly, then you're going to have a lot of very instantaneous power held out and made possible by high rev range. So here in our normal mode, we got plenty of acceleration. Your shifts happen about 3,500, 4,000 RPMs, and it's got plenty of power here. As soon as we switch this thing into a sport mode, you're going to notice the revs are going to start to carry out a lot higher. In eco, much slower. So let's throw this into sport since we're on this ramp here. We're going to use this sport mode here as a good opportunity to kind of just catapult ourselves here. You got the gauges all changed, different colored over here, and it's really cool. The revs are going to stick out much more dominantly. So you can see I'm here, I'm at about 100, just under 120 kilometers an hour, and the revs are still at our 3,000. Typically it would change by now and take us down in speed, down in RPMs. So right now we're just kind of feeding her right now. Ooh, we got our fuel level empty. Wow, nothing new there. Yeah, you got plenty of power here in this truck. It's pretty sweet, especially in your sport mode. Now if you throw this thing into eco mode, obviously that's going to be best for highways or in the city. Your revs are going to kind of even out a lot more. And then when you go to change gears, they're going to change a lot quicker, and it's going to look to keep you in the lowest RPM range possible. And for our eco mode here, you got your green basically backdrop there. It's really cool what they did here with their digital gauge cluster. It looks really nice, and the graphics are really sweet. Now when you're driving this thing, what I found was one of the nicest things is that it's really smooth. It drives a lot like a car, even though it's a really big vehicle. It's got really nice buttery smooth steering here, very responsive, and it's really enjoyable to drive, especially when you're driving, you need to pick up some speed. The turbos kick in, it's just like really quick. Obviously there's a little bit of turbo lag, but nothing too crazy. It's actually pretty impressive. Now let's go over and let's swap. Click the button here by accident. Swap this thing back into our normal mode. When you're looking to change lanes, it's really easy, really simple, especially with these big huge mirrors. You got basically tons of view. You don't even really have to always look over your shoulder, but you're going to want to, for sure. For show, folks, yeah. I will say this thing is definitely the most comfortable truck I've driven. I've had the 2019 Ram Sport, like I was mentioning, and this is really comfortable, really smooth, and just feels almost like you're riding on a cloud, even though there's no air suspension. It's not even in a limited or a platinum, It's so comfortable. It's wild. Even when you're driving in the snow, still really comfortable. You got that four-wheel drive on, even though you have all seasons, it works amazing. Let's check out the cruise control. So here we are driving. If you want to engage your cruise control, there's a little button right here on the left. Just click that once, and and it'll lock you into the speed that you are currently at. Now, if you want to set up a higher speed or you want to go up or down, it's just like most trucks or cars for that matter. You just click the set up, it'll increase your speed. Put it lower, and it will decrease your speed. Now here in the 302A, you don't have an adaptive, so you can't lock into the same speed as the car in front of you automatically, or have it brake for you as the car brakes as well, with a set amount of distance in between. So that is what it is. So if you're getting too close like this, you're gonna want to disengage it, press that brake, stuff like that. But it's pretty straightforward. It's actually a very easy cruise control setup to use, and it's been very handy, mostly on highway use. It's been actually incredible, and it just keeps you always locked in. But it would be nice to have an adaptive cruise control function for sure. A quiet little country road here, and I'm just going to do a launch to see what the 0 to 60 time is like in this car. So we're going to stop here and we're going to put this thing in a sport mode. So let's stop here, let's throw this thing in sport, turning our lever all the way to the right. We got our sport mode, we got this crazy gauge cluster all red and fast, and all right, well, let's see what's at. 3, 2, 1. There we are, 100 kilometers. So, cool. Definitely just rips this thing. You can see here when we're in sport mode, it's still carrying those RPMs. So it's pretty, it's definitely a very erratic and wild kind of sport mode. It's really quick. Press the gas here, it just wants to get you gripping. It's crazy. So that said though, let's swap this thing back into eco mode so we don't feel bad, and get back to normal people speeds here. Now, as we drive through our eco mode, in reality, you're not really going to see much of a difference in your mileage between your eco and your normal mode, unless you really feather that gas, because this thing definitely likes to drink if you press your foot down a lot. I know I do, and that's why I got 17.2 liters per 100 kilometers at this point, but still pretty darn good, really. But it's, I wouldn't be surprised if you could achieve a 13.5 liters per 100 kilometers. We'll put that in the screen, what it is in miles per gallon, if you really feathered that gas and drove it very liberally and were, you know, really focused on just getting from A to B, and you weren't using it for an everyday work truck like I do. Because for us, if we're just always go, we got to get to one end from the other end of the city to the other quickly, and you know, in reality, time is money, so the cost of gas isn't too much of a concern for me specifically. So now we're in eco mode. Let's do an eco mode takeoff here. Show you what this acceleration's like. I don't really drive in eco mode very often. It's pretty much always normal mode. But you can see here, very slow gear changes. And this is what you're going to want to do if you're going to, you know, you want to save some fuel. Eco mode is your friend. Just like the trees, just like the plants, just like the sky and the water. All right, folks, and that sums it up for this nice big thumping F150 XLT 302A package. That's it for this video, guys. So if you like this video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you want to see any other POV or you want to see any particular vehicles, drop them down in the comments. I would appreciate it a lot. And basically, if you're a subscriber of mine and you have been for a while, drop in the comments what you want to see. Give me some input because I'm eager to know what you guys think. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, everybody.